you mastered the different types of bash brackets. In this video, we are going to focus on curly brackets, single and double square bracket, single and double parenthesis. The first type of bracket that we are going to focus on is the curly bracket. The bracket is basically used for expansion. If you are given a list or a range, you should use the curly bracket to expand the list or the range. There are four types of expansion that we're going to focus on in this video. The first type is called the brace expansion. In this case, we are given a range. Then we are going to expand that range. So in our example, you have the echo file. You are given a range from 1 to 5 and then dot text. So the range is going to be expanded to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then the output will be the 5 files with file 1.txt, file 2.txt, and so on and so forth. Let us check the second type of expansion. The second type of expansion is the variable expansion. In this case, let us check our example. In this case, we are given a variable called fruit, and the variable is assigned apple, and we are going to echo I like $, open the curly bracket, fruit, close the curly bracket, s. Then the fruit is going to be expanded, and the value that is assigned to the fruit is going to be assigned, and the output will be I like apple. The third type of the expansion is called the list expansion. In this case, you are given a list, and then you want a list of fruits, and then you want to add an s to every fruit in the list. So you are going to add an s at the end. So when you add like this, you echo the output of this going to output apples, bananas, and cherries. The fourth type of the expansion we are going to check is the parameter expansion. In the parameter expansion, you are going to be given a fruit, and then maybe you want to extract the name oranges from this value, from the fruit value. Let's say you want to extract the name oranges from the fruit variable. So we are going to say fruit colon 0 from the beginning. The orange O is at 0 and at 5. Then we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the word orange is going to be extracted. The output will be orange. That is the curly bracket. Let us check the second type of the bracket. The second type that we're going to focus on is the single square bracket. Single square bracket are basically used for condition. If we want to check a condition, we're going to use the single square bracket. The first use of a single square bracket is the conditional expression, whereby in bash, when we want to compare numeric value, we normally use these operators. So this one means the equal to, this is equal, this one the operator is not equal, this one is less than, this one is less than or equal to, this one is greater than, and this one is less than or equal to. When we want to compare strings, you can use the equal to or not equal to. These are the operators. So in our example, we have a variable that is assigned, we have a variable var that is assigned 10, and we are going to use the if statement to check if our variable is equal to 10. And if our variable is equal to 10, we are going to echo the variable is equal to 10, and we are going to end our if statement. So in this case, our variable is equal to 10. We know our var is equal to 10, so we expect that the output to be the variable is equal to 10. Let us check another use of the single square bracket. The other use of a single square bracket is used for file existence check. For example, if we want to check if a file exists, so the first operator is used to check if the file exists. We have the negative E. Negative F is used to check if it is a file. If we want to check, confirm if it is a file, you use negative F. If you want to check if it is a directory, you use negative D, flag negative D. If you want to check if the file is writable, you use negative W. If you want to check if the file is executable, you use negative X. If you want to check if the file is readable, you use negative R. Let us check an example. You have an example here. If negative F, then we have the $, file name, echo, then echo file exists. And we are going to X the file exists. So we use the negative F for file check. If you want to check if the file exists, you can check for a file. You can check if it exists. You can check if it is a directory, readable, executable, and writable. Those are some of the operators that we're going to use. So single square bracket are used for mostly for two things: for conditional expression and also for file existence check. Let us now check our third bracket. Our third bracket is the double square bracket. This one is used for when we want to do complex conditional, whereby we want to add some logical operators, or we want to do some pattern matching using the regular expression. So let us check the first use. First use is the logical operators. Logical operators is whereby we want to use we can use the AND logical operator or the OR logical operators. An example of using them is we check our number is greater than 0, or our number is less than 100. This one is going to check a range from 0 to 100. The second use of a double square bracket is the pattern matching, whereby we use this operator. We have an example here. We have a string that we're going to check. We are going to check the beginning. This sign is used for the beginning. We're going to check for numbers only. If it has the numbers, if it has all the string is numbers, and also its end at the end is also number. So if we want to check if the variable in the str is a number, we're going to use this pattern matching. Now let us check let us check our fourth bracket. Our fourth bracket is the single parenthesis. Single bracket parenthesis is used for commands. If you want to carry any commands, if you want to do any commands, we are going to use the single parenthesis bracket. So there are three uses of the single parenthesis bracket. The first use is creating subshells. So when creating subshell, it's going to isolate the commands inside the single bracket, and this command is not going to affect the main subshell or the main shell. Not going to affect the main shell. So in this example, we have the variable that is assigned inside a single variable, and we have var. We assign it to 42, and then we echo the var. In this case, inside the subshell is going to output 42. Then outside, when I say echo outside, whereby it's not inside this the single parenthesis, we say outside we are going to echo outside subshell. This is going to be evaluated to 0, so nothing is going to be output. So the output will be inside subshell :42. Then the outside subshell is going to be evaluated to the var variable is going to be evaluated to 0. So the other use of the single parenthesis is the grouping commands. So when you want to group commands, group command. So the cd is going to enter it in a particular directory, then we're going to list, and the output is going to be printed on the terminal. The last use of our single parenthesis is the command substitution. In this case, we're going to list all the files and directories, and then we are going to count the number of lines. Then the number of files, we are going to count all of them. Then we are going to echo the number of files in the directory. Then we are going to print the number that was counted. That is the fourth. The last one is called the double parenthesis brackets. A double parenthesis bracket is basically used for arithmetic operation. When you want to do any arithmetic operation, you are going to use the double parenthesis brackets. So the first use is the arithmetic evaluation. So for example, A is 5, B is 10. Again, our result is equals to A plus B times 2. So our B is 10. 10 times 2 is 20 plus 5, that is 25. Then we are going to echo our result. Our result will be 25. The output will be 25. Then if you also want to do some logical operation, you can also use the double parenthesis bracket. So in this case, we are given a number, which is, we have given a variable which is num. We assign 8 to it. We are going to check if our num is greater than 5 and num is less than 10. In this case, it is true. And then we expect our logical AND to echo result of logical and $sign question mark. When you use the $sign question mark, it's going to get the exit status of this operation. So in this case, we know that our num is greater than 8. Our num is greater than 5, and our num is also less than 8. So it's going to exit with the 0. So in this case, the result of the logical AND is going to exit with 0. So we expect our output to be result of the logical AND is 0. The exit status, because it is true, going to exit with 0. That is the end of the bracket. Let us check a summary of this bracket. Let us check a summary of all the bracket in the bash and their uses. The first one that we have checked the curly bracket, and we said the curly bracket is used for brace expansion, variable expansion, parameter expansion. Then we have a single square bracket, use it for conditional expression, file existence checks, and check if a file exists. Then we have the double square bracket. Seen that we are going to use them when we want some logical operators or pattern matching. When you want to single parenthesis brackets, they are used for command substitution. When we want to some command substitution, we are going to use the single parenthesis. Then we have the double parenthesis bracket. That one is going to be used for arithmetic evaluation as well as logical operators. If you have any question, comment below. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.